I'm gonna do another video because I specifically want to talk about tuning systems. Now, tuning systems is gonna be an alien language to most people today. Um, whether you've even heard of tuning systems or not, um, this is a very direct subject about what it is people listen to today. We mostly have equal temperament. So, temperament is a way to balance a tuning system into whatever it is you want to focus on. Equal temperament is meaning that all notes are related equally. So, a C to a G would be the same as an F to a C. So, a C to a G is a perfect fifth. F to a C is a perfect fifth. But what about the major thirds? We've really destroyed them. And so I've talked about the harmonic series very much in the past. I've made articles about it, and I'd love to talk more about it. But let's just put it simply as this. Every pitch is a ratio to the pitch at the time that they're playing. So a C to G is a 3-to-2 ratio. If a C is closely connected to a G above it, so the G is above a C, the G is vibrating 3 times as much as the C below it is vibrating. Okay, but let's just ignore all of that. Let's just make a statement here. It's sort of an axiom that every prime number or prime number squared is going to equal a new pitch. Every double or division of 2 is going to be the same pitch. So a C times 2 is going to make a C, but an octave above. Now, a C to a G times 2, well, that's going to create an octave above and a perfect fifth. Sorry, it's the seasons changing. We're in spring is coming, so to speak, and I get allergies and all sorts of things. I live in a very pollinated environment, pollen everywhere. So, what we're trying to understand here is how did we work with all of these complex sounds? Pythagoras decided everything should be a circle of fifths, which is why that's huge in music theory, because that's how we kind of defined our music. But then we realized by doing a perfect series of fifths, we're losing all sorts of other things. So we decided, well, we like our pure thirds too, our major thirds. We like them too. We don't want to lose those. So we decided to do a just intonation where we had our perfect fifths and our pure thirds all mixed together to try to make it. But it doesn't work for every key. So you could do it all for C major and you can have a beautiful thing. But the problem is the just intonation always comes with the major second. The major second is a huge problem. And so you could have your CEG and your GBD. So we're thinking C major. So the perfect fifth from C major is GBD. Now the D in G major, so to speak, let's just say that, is not the same as a DFA. So we just moved, first of all, a major chord starting from D requires an F sharp, because a D to an F is a minor third. A D to an F sharp is a major third, but the F sharp related to the C is a tritone. Evil in the old days. We love tritones now. We use them in our ambulances and car signals and all sorts of warning things. We use tritones all the time. We've gotten used to them. I'm not a big fan of tritones, but I do love the harmonic tritone, which is the 11th pitch or the 11th harmonic. So, take into consideration that. But this is one of the main points I want to make about tuning systems. I'm going to link to a beautiful piece written by Mozart. Let me just make sure I have this directly. It is called Mozart's Fantasia in C minor, K475. Now, this is using the actual sort of piano Mozart would have used in his lifetime, and that would have been a forte piano versus a pianoforte, which is what we use now. Although in some cultures they still call them forte pianos. Now, what the difference is, well, structure, metal, all of that. There's so many differences. The resonance, so forth, etc. You can hear this, and I will link it to you. But the important thing is it's done in where the C major scale is so beautifully tuned that any key outside of it is going to be not so beautiful. And think of how Pythagoras designed music. C to G. So G to D would be the next most pleasantly thing. But we might want to make the F to C because we're doing everything by perfect fifths, which is kind of how China did things as well. So F to C and C to G are number one. C to F is a 1-4-1 relationship. C to G is a 1-5-1 relationship. And in choral music, religious choral music, the Amen, we love to call it the Amen cadence. It's the plagal cadence. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's right. But the plagal cadence is a 1-4-1 relationship with each other. Perfect cadence is 1-5-1. Well, actually, a perfect cadence requires note delineations to go from 1 to 5 to 1. This means every note in the chord of C major is related to every note in the chord of G to come back to C. So that's a perfect cadence, is how they are all related, according to classical music since Mozart's time. But let me just make a very specific point here. Those chords are without that many sharps and flats. G major has one sharp, F sharp, and F major has one flat, B flat. So if you think about this, you think of it this way. For all notes or chords or progressions and everything, they always add sharps and flats to them depending on how you go. So the further you are away, the more flats there are and the more sharps there are. And what is the most distant chord from C major? It's F sharp, a tritone. You can just take my word for it. So Mozart did this piece of music where he plays around with C minor. So going from C minor, having E flats. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Yeah, C minor. Because I would hate to explain this and then be completely lost. But he plays around in F sharp, which is going to be so out of tune with C. Now, C minor, C major, related keys to each other, but F sharp is neither in C major or C minor. And those are things to really think about. But Mozart played this amazingly well. And I would love to chat about this if you are curious. I will make a link to this piece of music because not many people play their performance of music and the temperament of that time and the instrument of that time. We like to think everything it makes sense to us now, but if we don't go back in time to understand how they thought of it back then, we're kind of losing what got us to where we are now. And then our future kind of becomes repetitive or non-coherent. It's like time is not exactly perfect, obviously, because we can't remember things perfectly because nobody perfectly wrote down everything descriptively about every detail. And we can't predict the future because we can't truly understand the past because the past isn't perfectly transcripted to us. It would be great if AI could go back in time and understand all that got us to where we are now and help guide us to where we should be in the future. That would be a wonderful thing. I would love. I would pay all my life to have AI do this for me. Anyways, or for all of us, I would love. But I will give you a link to this video and I hope you enjoy it.